Most people think Air Force One is untouchable, the most powerful aircraft on Earth. But what if I told you there's a plane, even more important one, that doesn't carry the president? It carries everything else. The armored limousine nicknamed the Beast, a mobile command center disguised as a helicopter, hundreds of Secret Service agents, thousands of pounds of equipment, radars, encrypted comms, even the president's blood type in a fridge, all of it delivered in silence before the president even takes off. And the aircraft responsible, not a luxury jet, not a 747, but a $340 million flying fortress that can land in places no commercial plane would dare. It's the plane that carries Air Force One. You've probably never heard of it, but without it, presidential travel simply wouldn't exist. And the truth behind it, what happens before any red carpet ever rolls out, will completely change how you see power in the sky. At minute 9, you'll learn what's really inside the Beast and why the president never flies without it. When we picture presidential travel, we think of Air Force One soaring above the clouds, blue and white, polished to perfection, with tail numbers 28,000 or 29,000. But behind every picture-perfect landing is a story of raw logistics and military precision, led by an aircraft that was never meant to be seen. The C-17 Globemaster III was designed in the late 1980s, not as a symbol, but as a solution. Back then, the U.S. Air Force had a problem. How do you get tanks, helicopters, and armored vehicles into remote war zones fast? The answer wasn't bigger, it was smarter. The C-17 was the answer, a hybrid of brute force and surgical precision. It could land on dirt, reverse on a runway, take off with nearly 170,000 pounds of gear, and still touch down in less than 3,500 feet of space. What no one expected, that this war-built beast would become the quiet guardian of the president. You won't see the C-17 in photo ops, but it's always there landing days before Air Force One, carrying the Beast limousine, Marine One helicopters, bulletproof SUVs, and dozens of classified devices the president needs to function as commander-in-chief, no matter where in the world he is. And the most surprising part? This aircraft, originally built for combat, now performs one of the most delicate, high-stakes logistics missions on the planet. But that's just the beginning, because what the C-17 carries isn't just weight, it carries the image of American power. And next, we'll look at what exactly goes inside, including one presidential item that no other country dares to copy. Let's be clear, this isn't just cargo. It's the infrastructure of American leadership, packed and flown across oceans with military precision. First up, the Beast. This isn't your average limo. It weighs over 15,000 pounds, costs more than $1.5 million, and looks like a Cadillac. But beneath the paint, it's a rolling bunker, reinforced armor, night vision, a sealed interior with its own oxygen supply, and yes, inside the armrest, a refrigerated container with vials of the president's blood type, just in case. And the C-17 loads it all like clockwork. The Beast drives straight up the ramp into the belly of the aircraft, secured by military-grade restraint systems built to handle turbulence, hard landings, even evasive maneuvers. But that's only the beginning. Alongside the limo, the C-17 carries the president's SUVs, specially modified Chevrolet Suburbans loaded with encrypted comms, ECM jammers, and emergency medical gear. There's also the Roadrunner, a mysterious vehicle believed to be responsible for airborne communications directly linked to military satellites. Still not enough, add Marine One, the presidential helicopter. These Sikorsky helicopters are too large to fit whole, so they're partially disassembled, reassembled upon arrival by onboard tech teams, and made mission-ready in hours. Inside, they offer luxury and security bulletproof glass, missile countermeasures, and leather seating for 7, including the president. And it all fits neatly, efficiently, in a cargo bay that stretches 88 feet long and 18 feet wide. The C-17 transforms into a flying vault of presidential logistics. But size isn't the secret. It's where this aircraft can go that truly sets it apart. Air Force One may be iconic, but it's also demanding. It needs long, secure runways, well-maintained airstrips, with all the bells and whistles of modern airports. But what happens when the destination doesn't have any of that? Enter the C-17 Globemaster III. This aircraft was engineered for the impossible. It can land on remote runways just 300-500 feet long and only 90 feet wide. Dirt, gravel, desert, it doesn't matter. The C-17 doesn't ask if the runway is ready. It makes it ready. During President Obama's historic trip to Kenya, there were no luxury terminals, no high-tech hangars, and yet, 2 C-17s touched down days before Air Force One ever left the ground. They delivered the full motorcade, communications hubs, and even the Secret Service's mobile command center in Iraq. The C-17 performed landings at forward operating bases, often under blackout conditions, guided by nothing but night vision and GPS. No lights, no towers, just stealth, skill, and an aircraft built for tactical dominance. And these missions aren't just rare exceptions, they're routine. That's the hidden truth while the world watches Air Force One glide into major capitals. The C-17 is busy landing in places without even a paved road nearby, because presidential power doesn't pause for poor infrastructure. And just when you think it can't get more advanced, wait until you see what goes into rebuilding a helicopter inside a combat zone in under 24 hours. It's easy to call it a limousine, but the beast is closer to a rolling tank disguised as a Cadillac, weighing over 7 tons. This presidential vehicle looks sleek on the outside, but it's a fortress on wheels. Steel-reinforced plating, military-grade armor, bulletproof glass that's 5 inches thick, and tires that keep rolling even when shredded by gunfire. Inside, leather seats for 7, fold-out desks, secure phones, and the most chilling detail, a refrigerated compartment carrying blood samples matching the president's type, because in an emergency, seconds matter. And here's the part most people never realize: the beast is driven straight onto the C-17 using its own power. No lift systems, no external cranes. It drives up the aircraft's rear cargo ramp like it owns the place, because, in a way, it does. Then there's Marine One. At first glance, it's just a helicopter. But behind the green and white paint job lies a $5 billion fleet of airborne presidential suites. The VH-60N Whitehawk and the newer VH-92A Patriot aren't just ride-alongs, they're secure, self-contained command posts. And when they need to fly, they ride the C-17 too. But helicopters don't fit whole. Crews on board disassemble critical parts, blades, rotor heads, tail stabilizers, and reassemble them upon landing, sometimes in deserts, jungles, or foreign military bases. The turnaround time less than a day. That's the level of readiness we're talking about. No matter where the president lands, it has to feel like Washington, and the C-17 makes that illusion real. But behind every illusion is a team making it happen. Let's pull back the curtain. Before the president steps foot on Air Force One, his security is already on the ground. That's because the C-17 doesn't just arrive first, it builds the stage. Every presidential trip, especially international ones, follows a choreography that rivals military invasions. Only it's quieter, faster, and arguably more precise. 3 to 5 days before Air Force One takes off, a convoy of C-17s launches. Their mission: deliver, deploy, and disappear. They land in silence, unload armored vehicles, communications arrays, satellite uplinks, and medical equipment, all under the watch of elite Air Force and Secret Service units. One aircraft might carry the Beast, another Marine One in pieces, a third transports portable radar domes, mobile bunkers, and even a self-contained air traffic control tower. The goal: by the time the president arrives, everything's already functioning. Inside those C-17s are more than pilots. You've got loadmasters trained to secure multi-million-dollar assets, mechanics capable of reassembling helicopters in 18 hours, and cybersecurity specialists setting up encrypted communication grids, all under heavy protection. Even food security is covered. Presidential chefs and supply units fly ahead to ensure every meal, down to the bottle of water, is vetted, And when it's time to go, the same team packs it all up. No trace, no press, no margin for error. This isn't travel, it's the relocation of power. A floating White House, reassembled piece by piece, anywhere in the world. But what's the cost of this invisible empire? You're about to find out, and it's more than just dollars. Running the most powerful office on Earth doesn't come cheap. But few realize how expensive protecting that office really is until they look at the C-17 program. Each aircraft costs about $340 million more than the annual defense budget of some small countries. But that's just the sticker price. Maintaining the global C-17 fleet, $3.5 billion in contracts, covering everything from spare parts to pilot training in over 8 countries. And for the manufacturer, McDonnell Douglas, building the first C-17 nearly broke them, racking up $1.0 billion in development losses before Boeing stepped in. So, is it worth it? Ask the US military. The C-17 boasts a 92% mission completion rate, even under extreme conditions. It needs just 20 man-hours of maintenance per flight hour, one of the lowest ratios in heavy aviation, and its track record speaks for itself: over 4 million flight hours, including some of the most daring humanitarian and combat missions ever attempted. From evacuating 823 civilians from Kabul in a single flight, a world record, to delivering presidential motorcades into war zones without commercial airports. The C-17 doesn't just show up, it saves the day. That's why nations like India, the UK, and Australia pay premium prices to join the C-17 club, because this aircraft doesn't just move cargo. It moves national interest, it moves command, and for the US president, it moves something even more valuable: control, wherever he goes. But if you think that's impressive, wait until you see what all this says about global power and how America stacks up against other world leaders. Every time you see Air Force One land gliding in with media flashbulbs, red carpets, salutes, there's another plane already parked nearby. No cameras, no crowds, no ceremony, but it's the one that made the moment possible. The C-17 Globemaster III doesn't carry the president, it carries the presidency. It's the unbranded, unglamorous backbone of modern power, a flying vault of diplomacy, security, and dominance that follows the president to every corner of the earth, and it often gets there first. And that's the irony. The aircraft that symbolizes strength, the one with the seal, the staff. The press corps is only half the story. Behind it is a fleet of silent giants doing the heavy lifting, literally and politically. So the next time you see Air Force One touch down, look beyond the spectacle, because somewhere nearby, a C-17 has already written the first chapter of that trip. No spotlight, no speeches, just pure capability. And now that you know the truth, let's ask the real question. Is the C-17 the true engine of American power? Or is it proof that protecting one man has gone too far? Let us know what you think, because the answer says a lot about how we define leadership in the 21st century.